भूतपूर्व गोर्खाहरूको मुद्दामा सरकार स्तरीय त्रिपक्षीय वार्ता पेचिलो र रोचक मोडमा पुगिरहेको बेला गोर्खाहरूको मुद्दामाथि बेलायती संसदमा फेरि एकपटक महत्त्वपूर्ण बहस भएको छ। गत बिहीबार मार्च 26 तारिकका दिन बेलायती संसदको तल्लो सदन हाउस अफ कमन्समा झन्डै 1.5 घण्टासम्म चलेको बहसमा करिब 1 दर्जन सांसदले भाग लिएका थिए। बहस सुरु गर्ने क्रममा सांसद क्यामरन थोमसले केही भूतपूर्व गोर्खा सैनिकहरूको उदाहरण पेश गर्दै सेवा सुविधामा बेलायतबाट भएको असमान व्यवहारका कारण उनीहरूको जीवन निकै कष्टकर बन्न पुगेको तथ्य पेश गरेका थिए। सेवाका क्रममा अङ्गभङ्ग भएर निस्किन बाध्य बनेका पूर्व गोर्खाले समेत पाउनुपर्ने जति पेन्सन नपाएको भन्दै उनले देशका लागि 200 वर्षभन्दा लामो समयदेखि अनवरत रूपमा समर्पित गोर्खाहरूप्रति बेलायतले गरेको विभेद लज्जाको विषय रहेको उल्लेख गरेका थिए। त्यसपछि बहसमा भाग लिने सबै 11 जना सांसदहरूले पनि गोर्खाहरूमाथि बेलायत सरकारबाट ऐतिहासिक रूपमै विभेद भएको भन्दै उनीहरूलाई न्यायोचित व्यवहार गरिनुपर्ने पक्षमा आवाज उठाएका थिए। 2 शताब्दी भन्दा लामो समयदेखि बेलायतका लागि लड्दै आएका गोर्खा सैनिकहरूको बहादुरी, निष्ठा र बलिदानीको कदरस्वरूप उनीहरूलाई सम्मानपूर्ण व्यवहार गर्न बेलायत सरकार समक्ष सांसदहरूले माग गरेका छन्।
I have some questions for the Minister. I'll put those forward afterwards because I'm conscious of time. I wanted in closing to recognise the dedication of the Gurkhas that I have observed on the part of the member for Aldershot, chair of the APPG for Nepal, who apologised that she could not be here this afternoon. I know that otherwise she would have contributed with a genuine and heartfelt contribution. I thank her for organising and marking a marking of remembrance at the memorial to the Brigade of Gurkhas in November 2025. She offered me the honour of laying the wreath at that service, which I proudly accepted. When I placed that wreath, I took a moment to read the inscription beneath the feet of that Gurkha soldier. It read, "Bravest of the brave, most generous of the generous. Never had country more faithful friends than you." I want to believe that comment is genuine, and I want to believe the reasons for the injustices are that they are so numerous, so complex and so historic that they persist not through lack of will, but through lack of understanding. I want to believe that the relationship between the UK and the Gurkhas is one of friendship and not one of exploitation.
For over 2 centuries, Gurkha shoulders have stood shoulder to shoulder with British troops in conflicts across the globe. Their bravery, loyalty and sacrifice has been unwavering. They have fought in wars, upheld our values and in many cases laid down their lives in service to this country. I am proud as a member for Doncaster Central to represent a large Gurkha population. And not only am I proud because of the service that they've given this country, but because of the contribution that they make to our city today. They are a valued member of the Doncaster community and we are richer for their contribution. And that is why I'm here today to ensure that their voice is heard. As the Minister will already be aware from speeches by other honourable members in the Chamber today, there are many in the Gurkha community who feel that their pension provision has not been fairly applied, and some are living in real hardship as a result of that. This particularly relates to those who enlisted before 93 and the loss of the pre-1997 service value. And let me illustrate a personal example of this from a Gurkha veteran in my constituency who served 28.5 years. Yet for pension purposes, only 16 years of that service is recognised. That represents a loss of around £10,000 per year simply due to excluded service. And whilst I understand the position of the government on this and indeed of previous governments, I do ask on behalf of my constituents and many more like him that there's continued dialogue with the government to try and remedy what feels like an injustice to them.
Of Gurkha veterans must never be understated or sidelined. However, the treatment in particular of Commonwealth and Gurkha veterans with regards to their pensions has been deplorable. The UK government has rightly recognised the veterans' bravery and their achievements, but that must be translated with respect to their treatment and pensions. Does my honourable friend agree that the UK government must now work at pace with the new Prime Minister of Nepal to work collaboratively to resolve these long-standing issues of long-suffering veterans?
Army, Navy and RAF issues has been significant, and we thank him for that. When I was a wee boy, and that wasn't yesterday, we used to have exploits of the Gurkhas, and we used to, when I read the magazines or the exploits in the paper, you're always moved by their bravery, and it always struck me. I never ever met one day. I was on an exercise with the Armed Forces Parliamentary team, and I met some of the Gurkhas. They weren't that big, but my goodness, they were strong, they were courageous. So the Gurkhas have given their all for this United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, often at great personal cost, as he's outlined. Is it only right that we ensure every veteran, regardless of when they served, receive the dignity, the pension equality and the welfare support that they earned on the battlefield? And does the Honourable Member not agree that words of thanks are just not enough, and that what is needed is practical support, and that has to be demonstrated by our government, and this debate today is the first stage in that battle to make that happen?